Welcome back, Wild Family, to another episode of Wild Women Wet Shaving. Get your tea. I'll wait. And while I'm waiting for you to go ahead and pour yourself a cup of tea, go ahead and like the video, hit the subscription button, the notification bell, so you know when I'm doing a video next. All right, so to get into this week's episode of Wild Women Wet Shaving, I figured, you know what, we talk about wet shaving a lot, so why not talk about me for a while? So I figured I would make a little wet shaving video, well, actually just a little video that basically just talks about me so that you and I can really get to know each other. Question number 1. Who is your childhood best friend / memory? I grew up my first few years in Kamloops, BC. I have a best friend named Kara, and we're still best friends. We're still tight. We talk all the time. She had an amazing house that had like a farm and like lots of kids. She had tons of siblings, has tons of siblings. And I grew up at her house, and as an only child, when you have a best friend who has like 5 siblings, you also have 5 siblings. So yeah, my best friend and I spent tons of time on their farm, playing with goats and sheep and all that jazz. Question number 2. What is your worst subject in school? I'm not a math science kind of girl. My brain does not work that way, but I'm not ashamed of it. I'd rather write a book than do math equations. I'm just not programmed that way. So I struggled quite a bit in high school and in elementary school with math and science. So I don't do any of those. Where are you from? All right, so I was born in a country called Haiti. Most people have never heard of it besides the 2010 earthquake. There was another earthquake, I believe in 2013, but that one wasn't as well known. I'm from a little town called Pétionville. Actually, it's not a little town, it's one of the more major cities. So if you ever go to Haiti, you either go to like Lake Cay or Jacmel, or you just stay in Port-au-Prince, or if you know any of the other cities, but those are sort of the 3 that you go to. So I'm from Pétionville in Haiti, and I love being a Haitian. I really do. Biggest accomplishment? I would say my biggest accomplishment was understanding what I was and was not good at, and knowing that I didn't want to spend money at college or university. So I decided to go to like a community college. Like I just went to George Brown and got some certifications through George Brown, and instead of spending like $40,000 on my education, I spent $1,200. And I was in and out of school in a year. And it was the best decision I ever made, because I moved to Toronto when I was 19, and I was out of school by the time I was 21, and I had a business at the age of 21, and I ran it by myself. And yeah, that would be one of my biggest accomplishments so far. I haven't had babies yet, so I'm not done with my accomplishments. My biggest regret? Oh, that's hard. I try not to think of things as regrets and more think of them as just a learning curve, but I would say my biggest regret was not traveling at a younger age. I started really traveling at, I know this sounds weird, but I really started traveling at I was 23, 24 when I got into it, but I wish I'd started straight out of high school and really started experiencing the world for myself, and not just through National Geographic or on YouTube channels through all those amazing YouTubers that travel, but really going after the adventures for myself at an even younger age than 23. My favorite color. Okay, so I actually have 2. I'm kind of... my favorite colors are purple and blue. Purple first, just because when I was growing up, that was one of the biggest colors in my wardrobe. My mom always put me in these really cute little green overalls with these purple pockets in them, and then as I grew out of them, she would always put me in these really cool purple tops, and purple and blue were just the colors that I tend to gravitate towards when I'm shopping, so I'd say purple and blue. My favorite item of clothing. I know these are super random questions, but I didn't want them to be like, oh, what was your childhood pet? Whatever. My favorite item of clothing, I would say, are dresses. Here, I'll stand up for you so you can see it. I am an absolute dresses freak. I like that you can wear a tight dress and be all sexy and revealing. And then if you want to be sort of lazy and frumpy, you can put on an oversized dress but still have the sex appeal and that femininity. And I like that a dress is feminine and sexy, and it makes you feel the things you want to feel. And you know, if you're having a bad day, or if you don't feel like putting work into an outfit and getting all glammed up, slap on a sexy little dress, put on a pair of heels, 2 licks of mascara, go out the door. Men will check you out and your whole day will change. My favorite restaurant. Okay, so when I was living in Toronto, I have 3 best friends, and we would regularly meet at Earl's on King Street. So it became sort of that, like, I'm going to Earl's so I can dress up and be downtown with all that kind of glamoury people, but not pay $75 for a meal. My girlfriend and I would go on Tuesday night, and Tuesday nights was half-price bottles of wine. So the 2 of us would split a bottle or 2 of white wine or red wine and sit and have some appies, and then our other girlfriends would join us, and it was just a way for us to feel elegant and sexy without the massive cost of feeling those 2 things. So I would say Earl's on King Street. The best place I ever traveled, besides Haiti is home to me, so I can be incredibly biased towards it because Haiti is my heart. Haiti is my whole life. But the place that I traveled to that I always recommend people is Cozumel, Mexico. I had the most relaxing, glorious, out-of-body experience in Cozumel. I would take this little putt-putt scooter that I rented for the week to a private beach where nobody was for miles. I would just sit with my journal or like take a couple of bottles of water, and I would sit at the beach and I'd go snorkeling, or I'd just sit and read all by myself, and I had a beach 10 kilometers this way, 10 kilometers that way with nobody in between. It was serenity for an entire week. And it just taught me about really meditating in the creation of this world and really realizing that we are so small in such an infinite planet. But it was humbling and beautiful, and just go to Cozumel, Mexico. Go. All right, so I just wanted to blab on a little bit about myself, tell you about myself without involving a razor and some soap involved. Thank you so much for watching Wild Women Wet Shaving. I greatly appreciate the growth both on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm super excited about my new subscribers. Speaking of which, let me just give a small shout out to my new subscribers. Zach Likes to Shave, thank you so much for the new subscription. I'm gonna butcher this, but D. Grishamuboko, the title will be right here. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Wild family. Go 2499. Thank you for being a part of this crazy and wonderful world. Alton Graham, welcome, brother. Richard Ferguson, always good to see your comments in the comment section. Joe Scully, holding it up. Solid Shaves, and Raul Reynoso. I'm sorry that I butcher everything, but it's just how it is. So thank you so much for joining the Wild family. Thank you for subscribing. Hit that little notification bell, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you beautiful people next Thursday. Bye.